It makes me feel deflated, after having completed my degree for close to 4 years now, and not being able to get a full-time job. And it's not because of an unavailability of jobs. It is squarely because of the level of discrimination which is still being meted out to people like me, right, as a disabled and in particular as a blind person. I am Coswell Barnett, right, a visually impaired teacher of Spanish. So since completing my studies at UA part-time in 2020 December, it has been very difficult obtaining a full-time job, right? I have only worked twice since then. One at Distinction College part-time was a weekend job. Actually, it was 5 hours, right, between Friday and Saturday, right? From September 2022 to April 2023. And then after that, it took me over a year again until this year, 2024, to get another job that was a 2-month stint, where I was filling in for a teacher who was on leave. So along the way, I've taken several steps or measures to having my challenge remedied, such as going to the Ministry of Education on several occasions between last summer and this summer. So in one instance, I went there and I was referred to the Senior Education Officer for Region 1, of which Kingston and St. Andrew is a part. So the long and short is, I didn't get to speak with the gentleman directly, right? Because he was always busy and not on the campus. However, when I went there about the second time, I was told to come back. So when I went there about the second time, still wasn't there. So I got an email address for him, and I sent him a message outlining my concerns and as well as the level of assistance which I was seeking from him in terms of placing me at a school, right? Given the challenge or challenges I was having. No, surprisingly, I didn't hear from him, so I sent back the same email. So that was July of last year. Then I sent back the same email in August upon realizing that I didn't get a response. Still didn't get a response. Okay, now, in addition to that, I sought to get an email address for the Minister of Education's assistant, because due to certain protocols at the ministry, it is not, I'm not going to say it's not possible, but it is not easy for an outsider like myself to get audience with the minister like that. Right, so I got an email address for her assistant, and I pretty much sent a similar email, similar message to her, right? Outline my concerns again, and the level of assistance which would have been good for me. I didn't get a response immediately from the assistant. In fact, I didn't get a response until late September. But the response I got was basically an acknowledgement of the email, an acknowledgement in receipt of the email. So about 2 weeks after that, I said, well, let me see if I would have heard anything else. So I sent her another message to find out just to get an update, right? But to this very day, I have not received a response from her. All right. So those are two measures which I took directly at the Ministry of Education to have my situation addressed.
All right, backtrack a little bit, because you were a teacher at
You mean before? Yes. I taught at Clancarty High for 13 years, from 2006 September to 2019 December.
And you, as you said, you left that because your school was clashing with your studies.
Yes, because I was studying part-time.
Tell me a little bit about managing school with your studies.
Right, so basically, I started studying at UWI in 2015 because I was doing studies part-time. The degree would have lasted for 5 years, right? You know, normally it would have lasted for 3 years, but you're right. So basically, I would say in my first 3.5 years or so, it was okay for the most part in terms of this schedule, right? So because most of those classes were held in the evening, so I didn't have much issues. Only a few of them, you know, were held like in the early afternoon, but by and large, most of them were held in the evening. So,
which degree was this again?
Oh, it's a liberal studies degree with a focus on history, cultural studies, and international relations. And I also did advanced Spanish. Yeah, so there's a lot of work. No. So
because of the clashes?
Yes, so because of the clashes, I really had to quit the job, because so after trying to get the situation remedied both at work and at UWI in terms of any possible adjustment to the timetable, that proved futile. So I really was left with no option. Well, I was left with two options: whether to stick with the job or to forfeit my degree. No, I chose to resign and complete my degree, because I had invested too much time and resources into my studies to forfeit it like that, right? So that was what I did in 2019 December. So that was when I resigned, rather. So as you know, the COVID set in following year 2020.
You graduated with an upper second class honors degree.
You're right, in liberal studies, and I also got, along the way, for the year 2019 to 2020, I got an award for the most outstanding academic performance in liberal studies.
How does it feel to graduate with a degree and you've been out of a job trying to find a job for so long? What's that situation like? Tell me about it.
You know, it makes me feel deflated. You know, after having completed my degree for close to 4 years now, and not being able to get a full-time job. And it's not because of an unavailability of jobs. It is squarely because of the level of discrimination which is still being meted out to people like me, right, as a disabled, and in particular as a blind person, right? Despite the fact that the Disabilities Act, which you know was first passed in 2014, it was enacted 2 years ago in February 2022. However, my humble opinion, and I mean is the same opinion of many others within the disabled community. Why no? Because I know of a lot of other persons who are struggling to get a job, who have completed their studies at UWI as well. Now, the point I'm making is that because of the level of disregard right, still being shown to members of the disabled committee. To me, the Disabilities Act, is not benefiting us in the way it should, because we are still left at the mercy of employers, be it public or private, but especially in the public space, right? We're left at the mercy of these employers. So that is why I am in the situation that I am in, because I'll share this particular incident, right, at a school based in East Kingston, which I did an interview at last year, and not an in-person interview, because when they called me, the HOD, she decided to interview me on the phone, right? And the interview went well based on the questions she asked me and the responses I gave. So that was like maybe on a Tuesday, I think. So basically what she said to me was that given the fact that the interview was not done in person, well, she would have had to relay the information to the principal, right, which she did. So naturally, in that discussion, I pointed out to her, right, that I am totally blind. So, like I said, she would have asked me some questions like, so how I taught and, teaching strategies, questions that I anticipated, because those are questions that are normally asked of me. And that is understandable. So I had no issues answering her. So like I said, she was impressed. But the long and short is, so she told me that, well, she would have had to speak with the principal first and then get back to me. She did get back to me, like maybe I think it was a Thursday, 2 days, yeah. With the sad news that the principal said that, I'm not quoting her, but basically what she said, he said, well, even though I would have done well in the interview, that he could not accommodate me at the school because of the physical setting. So I asked her, what did that mean? What did she mean by that? So she said that because at the school, most of the classes are held upstairs. So I asked her of the possibility of creating a homeroom, right, which was done at Cloncarty for me. So the homeroom now, in the homeroom, that means that the students come to me instead of me going to them. So she said that that is a good idea, but that would not work because of issues with space, limited space at the school. So I left it at that.
How many other schools have you applied for over the period, and what are the reasons that they've given you for not?
Oh, well, I've applied to multiple schools. So maybe I could.
General, give me a general number.
General number.
East.
All right, maybe we'll say about 20 then. All right, so.
Yeah, and what has been their general feedback to you?
Right. So, yeah, the general feedback, it has to do with my disability, because most of the times when I go to these interviews, at some point in time, they talk to me in Spanish, and they are always impressed, with my Spanish and so on, fluency and everything.
What are they saying, though?
So what they said, generally, what they have told me is that because of my disability, because of my blindness in particular, they don't think that I would be able to monitor like certain visual stuff and so on. So that is the general sentiment or the general remarks I'm getting from them.
The part of it is the physical moving up and down, and then the other part of it is the ability to teach.
No, I don't think they have a problem with my ability to teach based on conversations I would have had with them. Let me tell you, they are not willing to accommodate me because their mindset is that, oh, he's blind, so how we're going to work with him, how he's going to do this, how he's going to do that. That is the problem that I have picked up overall. So the problem is really with the mindset of the school leaders. That is the problem. So they are not, most of them are not willing to adapt, because guess what? If you have been doing something one way for many years and the Disability Act comes into play, right? Mm-hmm. So why is it that they are not prepared to shift their mindset in order to accommodate, a person? I mean, because the truth is, I am the only blind person. I'm the only totally blind person in Jamaica at the moment, and for a number of years, who teaches Spanish. There's no other blind person in Jamaica who teaches Spanish. And I got that confirmation from the Ministry of Education. Mm-hmm. In my own thinking, it is a disgrace that being the only total blind person in Jamaica who teaches Spanish, and someone who has taught Spanish for years and has done very well, yeah, that I cannot get a job, not as a result of a shortage of jobs, but as a result of the negative mindset of these people, including the ones at the Ministry of Education, based on the incidents I just told you about, who are shirking their responsibility. Because that's what is happening. And that is why I have reached this point where it feels as if I can't remain silent about this thing anymore. Even though, yes, I have continued and will continue to apply for, jobs whenever they are posted, and many have been posted. But I believe that it has reached a stage where I need to let the public hear of, the challenges which I am experiencing, because life cannot continue like this, because I have my qualifications and I deserve a fair opportunity just like anybody else, let alone the able-bodied. Yeah, I have bills to pay too. I don't own anywhere. Where I live is rent. I pay. All I'm aiming for is to achieve financial independence, yeah, so that I can look after my own life and so on. Because remember, 20 years from now is, well, generally speaking, is retirement. Some people go up until 65, I guess, based on the sector they are in. But generally speaking, so I only have 20 more years left, and I've been struggling since 2021, basically, then to obtain a job. So, yeah, so what's next? Time is winding down.
I really wanted to get a job because it's a long time now and we really have been suffering. I've been praying every day. Sometimes when I look at my son, I see that he's really getting slimmer and slimmer. I always say the battery are getting thin and low because his mind is always on getting a job, and he just sits at home not doing anything. Nothing, not reaching out. He put out his effort. I am always there with him. I follow him to all the interviews everywhere. Someone call him, I would follow him because I really give him this encouragement from day one. Calabar High School, right back from School for the Blind, Calabar High, Shelter Teachers College. I would be there preparing his stuff. Every day I would be on the road from one place to another, to Clontarty, to everywhere, giving him my support. So, it's really hard for me to see him sit down here not doing anything, because I myself, I also have eye problem. I did several surgeries on my eye. It's really just a sad time for us, and we really need someone to reach out for us like now, because we need help now. We are really sinking. We need to be up, keep afloat. So hope someone will reach out. The Prime Minister, the Ministry of Education, the organization, anyone in the private sector who is willing to give him a job. I would really feel grateful for everything.
So to accommodate basic, you need a home room, you need any available smart technology that's there to
to be used.
And also a lab tech to set up the system for you. What else would you consider basic to ensure that you operate efficiently?
Well, that's it, because guess what? It's because of my experience as a teacher for so many years. It is very easy for me to adjust. Yeah, so adjusting is not an issue for me. I am versatile in terms of other subject areas which I can teach based on my degrees, such as like history, social studies, RE, and those stuff. I can teach all of those courses. Yeah, based on the scope of my degree. Well, I didn't mention cultural studies because cultural studies nor IR they are not taught in at the secondary level. So that's why I didn't mention those.
But you have experience in those?
Yeah, man, because those are areas that are focused on in my degree, specializing in my degree.
Tell me something. Were there any great achievements at Clontarty that you can mention? What?
There were several.
Tell me about.
Right. So such as the establishment of the CSEC program there. I was the one who set up the CSEC program for Spanish in particular at Clontarty. I received an award on 3 different occasions for of 100% pass, for attaining 100% pass in Spanish. That was when that was 09, 015 and 016. So I also introduced the school to the National Spanish Festival, where they won 11 medals under merit.
This year?
All right, different years. All right, so from between 2008, so the festival was normally held every 2 years or biannually. So between 2008 and 2014, which would have been 4 different occasions, they won 5 gold, 2 silver, 4 bronze under merit.
Just describe to me what life has been like since COVID and you are not working. How you manage yourself, how you take care of business. What is that like?
Okay, so basically I have had to tighten my belt, so to speak, right? So, like certain things that I would normally buy, I have to buy them in smaller amounts, right? As relates to my mother, what she does from time to time, but that's whenever she gets in it, she goes to the Coronation Market, right, and sell goods, like whenever she gets goods from from the country, right, she would assist other family members with the selling and so on. Yeah, so that's basically it, and from time to time, I would, because I'm registered with the council, Combined Disabilities Association, as well as the Jamaica Council for Persons with Disabilities. From time to time, they would call me, and I would go there and collect grocery stuff. Right, but that is how I've been surviving. So that's why I've really been trying hard to get a full-time job, which has been to no avail thus far.